Hello and selamat datang and welcome to our today's video where we're going to make a North Chinese dish, a Northern China dish to be precise, called I can't even remember the name, San Xian or something like that. A mixture of three main ingredients. But yeah, if I butcher the name, sorry for that. So let's just get into it. But yeah, we're going to start cooking this right now. So let's start. I've got my aubergine sitting around in salt water. You want it for about 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna squish them a bit, and yeah, it's been soaking around in there, so I'm just gonna let them do that. And now I've got my potatoes. Yeah, I'm always a bit skeptical about cooking this dish because of the amount of oil involved to pan fry or shallow fry everything. But yeah, I had leftover aubergine and I didn't know what to do with it because everyone's bored of eating curry. And I thought, why not try this? It's a Chinese stir fry dish because we do eat it once in a while. But yeah, making it recreating it without having to resort to frying is always the challenge. So yeah, I'm going to roast these potatoes that I have covered in mixing it in oil. So I'm going to air fry these potatoes 200 degrees for roughly 20 minutes to try and get them a bit crispy, or at least in a roasted form, so it'll be ready to accept gravy. Yeah, so this is what is going in. So I'm just mixing it up. This will go into the air fry, and let's see what happens after this. So just to check in, I'm heating up my pan after soaking the aubergine. I'm getting them flat in cornstarch and just, yeah, coat them. Not too excessive, but yeah, and I'm trying to make it last for the entire plate. But yeah, so I've got the oil heating up. Meanwhile, my potatoes are going to take a bit longer. It was 20 minutes, but that's not enough. So I'm increasing it to about 35 to 40 minutes at 200 C. So that's still going on. So I'm just going to coat this and we'll be back. So my potatoes are almost done. I just did a quick check on them and the oil is heated up. So I'm just going to pan fry, and this is what we're going to go with. Yeah, this oil is probably not hot enough. That's okay. We'll just pan fry this. Yeah, you have to do this in small batches. Otherwise, you'll just end up steaming this, and I'm still mixed over doing this in the air fryer versus doing this on a pan fry, which is what the general recommendation is, even for restaurants. Yeah, I mean, if anyone knows a better way to do it, please let me know. But yeah, I'm still mixed between these two methods. With air fry, I can never seem to get the desired results either. Just wanted to show my potatoes. They look great. This is like 200C in about 35 minutes in the air fryer. So I'm probably just going to mix up oil and put the rest of my aubergine in there in the air fryer and see what happens. Because as you can see, it's crisping up, but it's not enough oil. So I really want to avoid putting too much oil. So I'm just going to mix up the oil, try and get them coated as much as possible, and then put them into the air fryer, and then we'll see how it turns out after the same treatment for the aubergine. So let's see what happens on this. So meanwhile, while the aubergine is trying to air fry and we're trying to save it, let's just go ahead and start preparing the rest of the stuff. So I'm going to make we're going to mix this with noodles. So we're just going to start stir frying the mushroom, and I put in some ginger as well. I'm going to do a bit of a shortcut here because rather than utilize cornstarch or any kind of thickener, or like to use the starch from cooking the noodles, because I'm using the budget option, and today we're going to actually cook linguine. But I'm obviously not doing linguine with the alkalines or with the baking soda solution, because my family has had enough of eating alkaline noodles, if that makes sense. But in any case, with linguine, it's too white, so it doesn't suit the kansui taste very well, or the alkaline mixture. So we'll just cook that normally and just eat that with the sauce. I think that's fine. With linguine, the texture works just fine. So exactly what I feared has happened. The ones with oil generally are cooking well, as you can see, but the ones with less oil generally have a lot more white spots, and the color is not as great as you can also observe. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a half-time break to flip these guys and add a bit more oil, at least to the ones that are a bit more white. So I'm just doing that now. Yeah, I know this kind of goes against the whole air frying thing, but somehow I found with aubergines, you really need a fair bit of oil. And yeah, I know in Chinese restaurants they deep fry the whole thing. Yeah, and this is, I guess, maybe one of the biggest struggling points when you're trying to recreate this, or this type of texture, at least on zucchini. But yeah, so I'm just adding oil to it, in the hopes of getting a better texture. But I think you can already see the ones that have more oil are generally looking better. So let's try this and then see what happens with that. So the aubergine's finally done, and honestly speaking, it's not that bad. Yeah, there's still the white marks and the white specks here and there, but yeah, I mean, in the sauce it will all disappear anyway. Speaking of which, I've got the pasta cooked or cooking. You may, and this is now flavored, and you may be wondering, why did I flavor my pasta water and why is there mushrooms in there? Well, as you can probably see, I'm taking the lazy approach. I'm just going, because in any case you need to thicken the sauce, so I'm just cooking the pasta in and making it a one pot and then mixing everything in. So I've been flavoring this. Yeah, so the linguine is almost cooked, and then I'll add some final touches. I put in Sichuan peppercorn powder, I put in seaweed powder, I put in mushroom powder to flavor it, and salt and pepper, obviously. So this is going quite well. So once the linguine is cooked, a bit more I think, and then I'm just going to finish up the flavoring. So be back. So the linguine is more or less done. I'm starting to finish up now. I've just added the zucchini, the aubergine, as you can see. So I'm hoping the flour from the leftover or the residue is just going to thicken up the sauce somewhat, which will work out fine. In any case, I think it will work. So that's just going in. I'm going to dump in the potatoes as well. As you can see, the potatoes are great. It's softened a bit in the meantime, so it's not so crispy, but that's fine because it's going into the stew. So it's all in. And now is probably the time where I'll put in the final touches on the flavoring. So just give me a second, I'm gonna get some Sichuan wine, Xiao Xing wine. Oh, and it is a new bottle. What is this? Okay, so Xiao Xing wine. Yeah, little to how much sauce you have. As you can see, I have quite a lot of sauce, so quite a lot of wine. And then I'll add Maggi sauce to this to flavor as well. So just give me a second while I get it. Yep, I probably should have prepared all of this. Okay, so let's stir it up and then taste test it. And then this should be okay. And then I'll just add in the last touches, which is basically the what you call it, the paprika. Yes, maybe a bit more. Touch more. It's fine. I think it's more or less perfect. And now I'll add in the last part. So that's the paprika for you. This is mostly a vegetarian dish. You can see I put out the prawns in the individual dishes, so not to mix up the vegetarian and the non-vegetarian elements. But yeah, and that's it. Basically, not too bad. The aubergine probably took the longest, but yeah, it's I think the result is fine. And the taste will be okay, I presume. In any case, yeah, that's all for today's video. As always, please like, subscribe, and comment as you like. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, selamat makan and jumpa lagi. Bye.